Hello guys, I just wanted to do a quick video to draw your attention to something that's happening with MEIOU and taxes. Now, we've known for a while that MEIOU and taxes 3.0 has been in development. Like, they've not made any secret that they're still working on the mod. They've been working on it for over half a decade, so it just makes sense. But the first couple of developer diaries for M&T 3.0 have come out. And oh boy, does this look good. It looks really, really good. So first off, I'll show you the little tease that they had for it, because the tease is quite interesting as well in and of itself. So obviously ignore the fact that they use a nasty map mod, because I really don't like that map mod. Whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. See there, he's on Al-Kahira, so Cairo, and he sees there that there are slaves, cash crops, salt, and food all being produced in one province, which is incredibly interesting. So, what could this all mean? Well, there is something very interesting going on. So, just, should I just read it all? No, I probably shouldn't read it all, that would take too long. These are very, very long dev diaries. But yeah, it's definitely worth reading. The links to both of these dev diaries will be in the description, and I highly recommend you go and check them out for yourself. But yeah, it's looking real nice. So first off, with population, we now have the populations are split. So now we have rural, urban, and notables, which is not just the upper class, I believe it's called, in 2.51 or whatever we're on right now. But rural has slaves, peasants, and freeholders. Urban has slaves, residents, and artisans. And notables has nobles, burghers, literati, and clergy. They're all split up, and that tooltip right there looks fucking beautiful. It's so good. It looks awesome. It's not like this garbled mess of numbers and text that is very difficult to wrap your head around. I think the colors obviously help, but that looks so good. So that is one thing. They've got different populations. The big thing, though, is in regard to the economy. So basically, what they've done is every single province can have multiple trade good types. And yeah, as we saw in the first screenshot that I shared with you, this province of Aden has food, it has salt, it has cash crops, and it has slaves. And it has a supply and a demand. Now, this supply and demand thing comes in more in the second dev diary. Again, please go and read them. Really interesting stuff. They both have supply and demand. You have your production, you import, you export, and it works via the trade nodes. So what it does is, say Aden does not produce enough food, it will import food from another trade node. And obviously you'd be paying money for that. You have a cash amount for the amount of money that you're spending on your food, and then you have a cash amount for the amount of food that you are producing yourself, and then there is obviously the balance of that. So in essence, what that means is every province is sort of like interacting with each other, and every province is like, maybe not with each other, but with other trade nodes. It's just, oh man, it's so good, so good. The political situation is, I mean, that's not the important part of this dev diary, but we do have things called substates, which are quite interesting as well. Again, I'm not going to read through everything, just giving a brief overview for you to get excited, or as excited as I am, and then you can go and have a look as well. De Gracia is being completely reworked and is being implemented into the estate system, which is something that I've been recommending, or I wouldn't say recommending, but like asking for since I started playing MEIOU and taxes back in like 2.0. So that's good. Now, Dev Diary 2, this is the meaty one. It's very good. So I will read a little bit of this one. Everything has production subsystems. Basically, who produces what and how much is produced. As well, this is apparently a lot easier on performance than what they have right now. Because instead of having multiple systems for, you know, you've got your food system and then you've got your timber system, then there's just the trade system. That's all going away and being put into this new singular system. It's like taking all of the different forms of a country's welfare and putting it into one UBI kind of thing going on. That's basically what they've done, and it looks freaking awesome. So yeah, trade goods can be traded between, you know, different trade nodes, and trade does not go only in a single direction anymore. Hang on, where is it now? Trade can flow both ways. Because, oh my god, yes, that is so good. One thing I did ask about is what use do merchants have now? Because there's no more like transferring trade. There's no need to do that because every single trade node will interact with the trade nodes that surrounds it to a maximum of 8, I believe I remember reading. And there's no I'm flowing trade in this direction or I'm flowing trade in this direction. It's basically if trade node C has a desire for something and trade node A has a surplus of something, trade node A will transfer that trade to C and there will be money exchanged for it. And look at all those lovely little modifiers, not modifiers, trade goods there in this one. So trade is now trade good. I think, remember seeing that that's what merchants are used for. They give the trade good. I'm not sure exactly what that's all about yet, but I am definitely keeping an eye on it. So we've got food, salt, cash crops, slaves, and then we have fuel, fiber, raw materials, exotic goods, consumer products, military products, and naval products, industrial products, luxury products, and knowledge. So yeah, there's a, you know, production, you have a demand, and if you have more demand than you have production, then you're trading in, and if you have more production than you have demand, then you're trading out, unless somebody has no need for it, then you're producing something that nobody wants, and that's bad. You know, supply and demand, it makes a lot of sense, and you need to keep up with the whole, you know, economic lingo. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I'll just leave you with this. We'll have the... he did a what's called an example of how it would all work. So I think it was, there we go, actual example. So this province of Dadoo, I think that's in Korea, I'm not sure, somewhere around there, I guess. It starts with slots checking the balance of wealth left over from previous iteration. If the industry contained in the slot earned green, then it increases its throughput accordingly. If they instead lost money, then it decreases its throughput. So basically, if you are producing too much, if you earned money from doing your transaction, so if you are producing enough and people want enough of that product, then your production will ramp up because you're trying to meet supply. But if it's in the red, if it lost money, then they will start ramping back that production because it's not making them money. It's simple and it makes sense. So Dadoo here has quite a lot of, here we go. Quite a lot of knowledge. Produced 24 knowledge, demand is 23, so it's exporting knowledge, I think. I think that's how it works, I don't know. But it doesn't make a lot of really anything else, so it's very much a import province. I think, yeah, well, it's the capital, so it's like an import sort of logistical bureaucratic center kind of thing. So it doesn't produce a lot of goods, it just imports a lot of them, but that's sort of like, I don't know, it feels kind of normal and natural, and that's how it kind of should be. Instead of your capitals always being like the best province you have, producing all of the things all of the time,
this just makes sense that your capitals will be like, you know, your bureaucratic centers. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just really excited for this change. It's huge, and as well, I think they say in the first dev diary. Hang on, if I just search for performance, there we go. Yeah, performance wasn't where they wanted it to be with 2.5, and basically the performance is something that they really want to focus on in the new version in 3.0, and I think, you know, this apparently is really good for performance, and it's also a really awesome system. Like, it's interesting, and it looks like it makes logical sense for it to work like this. So yeah, I'm super excited. I really want to get my hands on 3.0, and as soon as I have any more news, I will definitely pass that on your way. But yeah, I will put links to these dev diaries. Like I say, I'm not going to read through them all piece by piece like I was doing with the imperative dev diaries before. I really recommend that you go and read these and go and gush over it just as much as I have done. So yes, with that said, I want to thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, likes and comments and all that kind of good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.